Hello ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're all keeping well as always, and haven't we got a beautiful looking bird species today? That's exactly what it is. This lovely species of avian goes by the name of the Victoria crowned pigeon, or binomially speaking, Goura victoria. This large bluish grey pigeon is one of the largest pigeons in the world, and is easily recognised by its spectacular plumage and long crest of feathers, for which they actually earn their common name. And I've actually had the pleasure of seeing one of these species in a zoo by the name of Burger Zoo in the Netherlands. But moving on, as always, I hope you enjoyed this little presentation, and let's get right into the action. Here's a beautiful, lovely image of the Victorian crowned pigeon, where it's quite nicely zoomed in, so you can see all the little facial features, the beak, and the lovely crest and eye. Moving on, the Victorian crowned pigeon is actually really only found on New Guinea and some of the surrounding islands. So it's like endemic to this region, so it's got quite, you'd say, restricted range. Moving on, the species can, on average, reach 73 to 75 centimetres, or 29 to 30 inches in length. But some specimens may actually exceed this length and can reach up to 80 centimetres or 30 inches. So it's a pretty decent sized bird. Also, due to its large size, the Victorian crowned pigeon is in fact considered the largest surviving pigeon species on Earth. So it has that little accolade to its name. Weight-wise though, and mass-wise, the Victorian crowned pigeon can reach up to 3.5 kilograms in weight, or about 8 pounds. The diet of the Victorian crowned pigeon consists of fallen fruits, berries, seeds, and the occasional tasty little snail that the Victorian crowned pigeon happens to come across in its wild environment. The IUCN, or the International Union for Conservation of Nature, just in case any viewers don't actually know what the abbreviation is, lists the Victorian crowned pigeon as vulnerable on their index, and known threats to this lovely species of bird include habitat destruction and poaching. Here we've got another beautiful Victorian crowned pigeon with more of a little bluish and red plumage coming into play. The actual naming of the Victorian crowned pigeon is a reference to its ornate feathery head crest, and the name commemorates British monarch Queen Victoria. Also, the Victoria crowned pigeon is gregarious, which means it tends to form groups rather than travelling alone, possibly for the simple principle and idea of safety in numbers against possible predators. The preferred habitat of the Victorian crowned pigeon is lowland forests and swampy marshy areas. As you say, this is arguably my most favourite of all the photos I've included in this presentation. The Victorian crowned pigeon, though, is monogamous and will mate for life with its actual partner it finds. It's a shame some humans can't actually fit into this principle, but I suppose we're more picky. Male Victorian crowned pigeons display courtship behaviour by lightly bowing their head and tail in little delicate movements. Females usually lay a single egg per clutch, with both the female and male incubating egg for up to 30 days. Juvenile little pigeons have a habit of fledging at about 4 weeks, but parents will continue to feed them until up to nearly 13 weeks of age, so it's quite good parental behaviour overall. Pigeons and actual flamingos are the only birds able to produce a certain special type of milk, which is known as crop milk. This little secretion is produced by both the females and the male species, and it actually completes the diet of the little nestlings and hatchlings for the first few days of their life, so it's quite useful. For another little animal that I actually have had the pleasure of owning, which are my bearded dragons, they're quite, I suppose in a way they do a similar thing, but when they actually hatch, they come with a little egg yolk, egg sac attached to them, which they consume, and it lasts them for about a couple of days up to a week, so that's another useful little adaptation I thought I'd include. I thought I'd also include some delightful feathery facts for you, ladies and gentlemen, to enjoy. I hope you find them intriguing and rather amusing. The Victorian crowned pigeon is the largest species of crowned pigeon and pigeon species in general within the world living today. The name is actually a reference to the crown of feathers, which you can quite clearly see on this picture to the right, I should say, where you've got a lovely, beautiful Victorian crowned pigeon with all its display feathers firmly poised. And it's also, the name is a reference to Queen Victoria, hence the Victoria part of the name. The pigeon is ground-dwelling by nature and spends a large duration of its activity on the forest floor. This is quite actually similar to what a lot of people don't actually know, that parrot species will actually spend a very large duration of their time on the floor instead of in the air, because foraging takes up roughly 70% of their actual life cycle. I apologise for my pronunciation of some of the Latin names now, because they're probably not going to be 100% correct. But just thought I'd show some lovely pigeon species for you. Most of these are actually native to the UK and obviously different parts of Europe, hence European and Eurasian. But there's no actual strict division between pigeons and doves. You have the Eurasian collared dove, Streptopetelia tecatio, the common wood pigeon, Columba palumbus, European turtle dove, Streptopelia tuta, and the rock dove, Columba livia. I'll be honest, I quite like the common wood pigeon's name, Columbus palumbus, or Columba palumbus is quite a cool little name. I just thought I'd show off a few lovely pigeon species because they're actually quite overlooked and thought as a pest species general. Well, I thought I'd finish off with this beautiful little image, ladies and gents. That actually concludes this presentation for today. I'm not actually, to be honest, I'm not really a massive fan of avian species. I prefer the bigger bird species, such as like the southern cassowaries, emus, I think it's the rhea or rhea, however you pronounce it, and ostriches. But this truly is a beautiful bird. I've actually had the pleasure of seeing, as I said in the beginning of the video, within a lovely biome located within Berger Zoo in the Netherlands. It's also a very close friend of mine's favourite animal, so I thought I'd include it today. As always though, I hope you enjoyed the presentation. Feel free to comment and like the video, and join the Raptor Pack today by subscribing, and as always, have a lovely, awesome day, ladies and gents.